Welcome back, traders, for another backtesting session. I'm going to go ahead and do the last full week of July from the 22nd to the 26th. Just taking a quick look on the previous Friday on the 19th. Actually, before we get started, I want to go back to the spreadsheet. Last time I showed it, but I had the wrong data for April. Okay, so I went ahead and if you go back to March, this is the ending balance. And I used the ending balance as the starting balance for April. And this is the balance at the end of the month of April. I also compiled the data for May. Here you can see we have a 61% winning percentage. These are the average gains, average losses. Pause if you want to look at any of the other stuff, but this is the ending balance for May. Here's June, his starting balance, ending balance here. June was actually really good. Average gain was like what, 3 times or so of the average losses, even though the winning percentage is actually pretty low. So we still get a positive expected value. Anyways, going to the full data, I did make a little bit of modifications just to go over with you guys. I added in the average P&L percentage. So this is going to be like the percent P&L basically per trade. And then this is going to be the total for the month, or well, this is for the whole year so far. So this is 25% year to date, which is, you can see that we started with 10,000 flat and we're currently around 12,600. So yes, it's about 25% gain. So anyways, with that out of the way, going into the chart on the weekly here. Last week we went down and you can see that I was looking at this weekly fair value gap. We went down into it. We took the sell side liquidity below the swing low. So this is good enough for another run above this high going into this week, or maybe, we may just consolidate in this range for a little bit, but should we start going down below it, I'll be looking for sell side below this swing low. Of course, the sell side below this low, and I want to see a return back into this volume imbalance, but there's no bearish signals as of yet. All the bullish PD arrays are being respected. You can see we respected this fair value gap. This fair value gap could get respected. So still going to maintain a slightly bullish view, somewhat neutral, because I'm thinking like we could create another candle here where we have a fair value gap. If we do get a run up and we go above the opening of the last week's candle, well, then of course we're looking for a new all-time high. So let's go ahead and go into the daily and see if we get a little bit more detail. So we do technically have a market structure shift, but we're going into a higher time frame PD array. We're sweeping sell side, so not really concerned with this being bearish just yet. Now going into this week, I really want to pay attention to this fair value gap in red. If we start trading above this fair value gap, I'll be looking for this to be an inversion fair value gap, using it to bounce price for a new all-time high. But we definitely need to get above this first. We could come up here and then start going lower as well. But either way, I think this is going to be a pretty important fair value gap that we want to pay attention to this week. I think we can definitely draw price into it, either for a retracement and drop down lower, or up and through it for a bounce up higher. So, per usual, starting off with the hourly chart, it is Monday, July 22nd, 8 o'clock in the morning. And these relative highs right here, right below this, the daily fair value gap that I was looking at. This is going to probably be the weekly target that I'm looking for. But then zooming in closer, you can see that we did have some sell side here. We took it out last week on Friday, and now we're kind of coming back up. We do have relative highs up here. So this is going to be my first initial target. I'm going to set it right there. We do have a fair value gap on the 1 hour right above it as well. I'm going to give this a slightly pinkish color. I think this could be an initial target to go for as well. And let's see, on the downside, what do we have? We do have a little bit of a gap here. If we're going to maintain bullishness, I guess we could still go below this swing low and still maintain 50% on the upper half of this fair value gap on the weekly. But I kind of want to see this remain intact, actually. Now, if you go up closer, I guess we have a small 1 hour fair value gap right here. I'm going to go ahead and draw it like this in blue. So keeping an eye on that 1 hour fair value gap. I'm thinking slightly bullish. So my idea is that I want to see an initial drop down into this blue fair value gap on the 1 hour. Then I want to see a rejection, a bounce up, for these relative equal highs and potentially going into this 1 hour SIBI. And that will be pretty much it for the day, unless this gets really strong and we look for prices to go up for those relative equal high on the weekly target. Okay, so it is a little bit before 9:30's opening bell, and looking at the pre-market, we're just kind of slowly climbing up. We reached the high of that weekly fair value gap, getting close to that target on the 1 hour. This triple top or these relative equal highs. I don't really want to see it get taken just yet. What I want to see at 9:30, I want to see a sharp drop down into this fair value gap. I want to see all of these lows get taken out. And then I want to see a bounce from here. I want to see a small fair value gap. I'll take the first one, looking for the target here, as long as we don't sweep it initially. Okay, well, at 9:30, we did start to drop down. Didn't drop low enough for me to actually want to look for anything. And then we just went back up, and now we've taken out this buy side liquidity. So I think it's going to go into this fair value gap, and then let's just take a quick look at the hourly one more time. Yeah, I think it can come into this fair value. I could keep going up for those relative equal highs. I'm kind of thinking this fair value gap and then going down into this blue fair value gap. So I may want to take a short. I'm slightly bullish, so this is what I'm going to do. If we are going to go for a short setup, I'm going to enter a short setup on a confirmation fair value gap and be very conservative, take it off here in the blue. But if somehow we keep rallying up, I suppose, and I guess I can take a confirmation. I guess after this first sweep, we didn't have a fair value gap just yet. If we do create a fair value gap here, I'm not thrilled to take it, but I guess I'll also try a confirmation fair value gap if we see that this is going to hold price as support. All right, so a little bit after 10 o'clock, and you can see after we hit that fair value gap, we see a sharp drop down. We have one, potentially two fair value gaps. So I kind of feel like this would be a good target to go for as a short. Now, if I have a risk here at the high, probably shouldn't do the colors just yet. And let's say I try to enter here. I'm not sure if I'll make it there. I kind of feel like maybe this shouldn't get traded back into. We could go for like an inversion fair value gap here, but you know what? That's not the model. I'm going to just think if I get an entry here, what will be the risk? Gotta get a little bit close. Let me get rid of this number. I can't see. This is going to be 981 and this is going to be 226. So quite a bit of risk, 45 points. I think I want to wait for see if this fair value gap remain intact, and then but if it doesn't, like if this candle that's forming right now comes back in here, I want to wait and see a confirmation fair value gap before trying to enter. So we can see that we do have a fair value gap here. It is rallying at this 45 points of risk. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait to see if we can get a smaller fair value gap. That way we can maintain more control on the risk, keep that risk a little bit smaller. Okay, so remember this, I'm not entering in a trade right here. I'm looking for a fair value gap. I probably shouldn't have these lines on here. It did go into this fair value gap. I kind of feel like it's going to start dropping now, but I'm still going to wait for a confirmation SIBI, and I'll enter into that one, looking for my target down here. I'm going to jump back to the 1 hour one more time. Remember, you want to keep jumping back to the higher time frames just to look for targets, right? So if we go through this fair value gap, what is our next sell side target? Not seeing any inefficiencies here. So I'm going to be looking for either this low. Actually, we had this gap here. This is the new week opening gap. So I'm just going to put a line right here. If we start going lower, this will be the ultimate target that I take everything off of. Yeah, I think that will be the safest bet. So partial 1 here at the blue, and then partial 2 here on the white line, should we get a confirmation fair value gap for a short. Okay, so it's just before 11 o'clock, and we went back into that 1 hour SIBI one more time, and we created this fair value gap. You can see that this candle, this 2 down candles right here, we closed below this fair value gap again. So So far, it's not really showing me much bullishness, much support on the bull side. This is kind of like a failure swing. I'm kind of thinking that we're not going to go above this high anymore. Now, if this fair value gap remains intact, I will go ahead and try for a short here with my risk up here, and I'll enter here. This will be what, 32, so still about 40 points of risk. So probably just going to go try for one contract and take it off here in the blue. And yeah, only if this fair value gap remains intact. All right, so here I'm just going to take one contract at this entry price risk up here. So I'm giving me about 0.5% of a risk. So yeah, just want to go small. You know, my bias is slightly bullish. So here, one short, looking to take it off down here. And let's just see how it goes. You know, I am slightly bullish, so could get stopped out. That's why I'm going with a small size risk. But quickly, it is working in my favor in the next 15 minutes. It dropped down pretty low, below this low right here. So I'm going to take it off down here in that blue 1 hour fair value gap. I feel like that's a good draw on liquidity, but you can see that we went down all this way, created a fair value gap right here. And I'm going to go ahead and put my stop to break even. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take 50% of the body of this up candle and just put my stop a little bit above it, below my entry. So I am going to be break even at least. So I'm going to put my stop somewhere right here, just kind of rough estimating it. I feel like it's going to hit my target, but if I get stopped out, at least I'm not losing out on anything. Okay, in the next few minutes, we did go down and I got my profit here. Let's see, it's going to be about, I'm estimating again, looks like about 3 to 1, but I should just refer to the spreadsheet. It could keep going down. Remember, I'm wanting it to go down to this white line. This is going to be the high of that new week opening gap. But one trade, even though it's 0.5% risk, it worked out about 3 to 1. So it was a really good trade. What else can I say? You know, sometimes you get lucky, right? But yeah, we'll see what the rest of the day looks like, and we'll move on to Tuesday. Okay, and here's a spreadsheet. It was a 3.5 reward to risk. Very good trade. It was 1.8% P&L with 8.5% risk. So yeah, let's take a look at the rest of the day, and we'll actually just go to the end of the day. I normally look at the morning and then I look at the afternoon, but whatever, we'll just look at the rest of the day and then we'll move on. Okay, so it actually didn't go down to that new week opening gap. So good thing I went ahead and just took it off of the partial. I wasn't too greedy trying to hold. You know, if I had 2 contracts, maybe I would have, maybe, you know, 1 contract off here. I'll definitely move my stop down. I don't know, probably just keep it there or maybe above this, you know, up candle. But either way, it rallied up in the afternoon and took out the high of the day, but pretty much just consolidated around equilibrium. But note that we did close above that weekly fair value gap. So it's signaling to me that we could still be bullish. So I think going into tomorrow, I'm still going to have a slightly bullish stance. I'm going to just change this color, I don't know, to yellow, take off the price, and label this as a new week opening gap. Remember, make sure you label your stuff so you don't lose track of what all your stuff's going on. Clean up your charts, and yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the next day. All right, guys, Tuesday morning, 8:15, marking out the buy side here and the sell side on the 1 hour chart. Remember, I'm looking for price to come up for these relative highs into that daily fair value gap. This is going to be my weekly target. Of course, this is the minimum. I'm looking for maybe 50% of this fair value gap. And of course, the best case scenario is going up to the top of that fair value gap. So those are going to be the 3 price levels. I'm anticipating that I won't have the contract size to actually hold for the best case scenario. But I'm just letting you know kind of like what I'm thinking. That probably just take everything off above these relatively close highs. But let's go ahead and get down to the lower time frame and walk through today. So 8:30 real quick, we're kind of dropping a little bit, but I'm keeping an eye on this fair value gap here. I forgot to note this on the 1 hour, so I'm back on the 1 hour. This is the fair value gap I'm looking at. It looks like we kind of traded through it. Here, I'll give you a look on the 5 minute. Yeah, it looks like we're going through it. We could have a sweep of the sell side. It does look like we are kind of displacing. You can see these big down candles. We are displacing lower, so I wouldn't be surprised if we take out the sell side, but I'm going to wait till 9:30, see what we can do. I'm not interested in taking shorts. I want to just be patiently waiting, maybe 9:30, maybe 10 o'clock. I don't know what news is going on, but I want to see a bullish pattern. And because of these big drops to the downside, I won't be satisfied to take the first fair value gap. I want to wait for a confirmation fair value gap. All right, guys, I think I could take a chance here. We went down into that 1 hour fair value gap, pretty much closed it in, but you can see we created a fair value gap here and here. So 2 fair value gaps. And then we went down into this upper one, didn't go down to the lower one, just stay in the upper one. And then we have potentially creating another fair value gap here just before 9:30, 25 minutes before 9:30. So I'm thinking to take a chance here. I want to use this fair value gap if it forms to take the first trade. This is going to be 20 or not even 20, yeah, 23 points of risk if this fair value gap remains intact. I'll go ahead and try for a full size, looking for a, what is this line again? Okay, yeah, I'm looking for a partial above here, and then hopefully we can get our target hit for this week. But if you do have the size, you could even take a partial above this high, but it's so close. I feel like if it takes out this high, it's got a good chance to take out that one. It's only like 30 points more. So that's why I'm going to aim for the upper one. Okay, and as you can see, no fair value gap formed. So there was no trade, no entry. Just going to keep waiting. I'm thinking 9:30. This dropped down back into this 1 hour fair value gap, back into this fair value gap right here. I think I'm gonna wait. So if we do start bouncing from here and create a fair value gap, maybe I can try, again. But yeah, no fair value gap here, no entry. Just gonna keep waiting. Probably 9:30 is gonna give us a better insight on what's gonna happen. Okay, so this is 9:36. So just 5 minutes after the opening bell. You can see that we did come back into this fair value gap just to sweep it, and then we went above all of these up candles. Looks like we're going to create a new higher high. So I'm thinking we're probably not going to go below these lows. I mean, we could still do it, probably not. So I'm just waiting for a fair value gap. I think I will be willing to take the very first one for an entry long, maybe that high. But like I said, I think I'm going to aim for this higher high. And of course, all the way up here will be my ultimate target. All right, guys, so it started to really explode here. We already took out this high. It kind of retraced a little bit. I think what I'm going to do is, let's see, if this creates a fair value gap here, I could have my entry either here or here. If this fair value gap gets filled in and we don't have one, I'll have my entry here. And I'm looking at this fair value gap. I don't really want this fair value gap to get closed in. Normally, I would have my risk all the way down here, but I don't want to see this close in. And plus, like all this consolidation here, I'm looking at this as a balanced price range. It should not come down all the way here. So my risk is going down here. Showing you guys how I place my risk. I'm looking for this to be my entry right now because this candle is not done forming. And if this is the case, this will be about 36 points of risk. Probably just take one contract. We'll just have to see what happens. I mean, we may not enter. It may just come hit our target. If that's the case, I want to see it come back down, and then I want to wait for another reversal, pretty much. All right, and as I suspected, that fair value gap didn't form. We come down and tap me in for just one contract. Actually, let me check the spreadsheet real quick. Okay, yeah, so if I want to push it, I could do two contracts. They'll give me a 1.1% risk. That's fine. But, I already said one contract. I thought one was already going to, I thought two was already going to push me over that 1%, which it did by just a little bit. You can still try for this, but I'm going to stick with my word. Just going to go with one contract, a small risk here. And yep, so I'm long. Now, am I going to look to take it off here? Possibly. That would be a little bit better than 1-to-1. Now, I want to take a look at the 15-minute chart. Gotta go a little bit back more. What I'm looking at is in between these two liquidity pools, right? Like this would be my first partial, this would be my second partial, but in between here, do we have anything else that I'm missing? Like we do have this little swing high, right? I could maybe take it off there. There's a fair value gap right here on the 15 minutes, so could take it off somewhere in here. I'm just going to draw a line here, here, and here, right? Just it's kind of confusing. Hold on a sec, guys. Okay, so here's a fair value gap that I'm talking about on the 15-minute with this swing high. So even though I want these relative equal highs, may not make it up there. I only got one contract, so I kind of don't want to just take it off here because I feel like it's got more room to move. So I'm looking to either take it off somewhere in here, or if I could somehow trail my stop loss so that I have my stop loss somewhere in this area, then I can hold for these relative equal highs. So let's just go ahead and move forward a little bit, see if we can even get above this high. Now, if we go above this high here, I'll definitely want to move my stop loss up to at least break even. Okay, guys, all that planning, and I went ahead and got stopped out. You can see that it came down and swiped me out. So just going to wait a little bit more to see what is going on. I still feel like it's going to go up there. Maybe I'll take the next fair value gap, but just got to wait a little bit. We could come back down for a sweep below these lows. We do have some inefficiencies we could fill in. I don't want to see this low get taken out, but I think we're just going to have to wait a little bit longer. Maybe closer to 11, we'll probably get a better setup. Okay, guys, so pretty choppy action here. You can see the overlapping 5-minute candles. After it swiped me out, it never went below this point again. Pretty much just chopped around here and then went for this buy side. So the buy side already got taken. It got swiped out. Kind of thinking, I'm not sure what to do for the rest of today. I'm thinking that today may be a sideways day, maybe a lot of consolidation, and then we'll look for Wednesday to take out some of the sell side and then see if we get a run for the buy side target. All right, so stepping through the morning action, I wasn't too thrilled with this price action, so I was considering not doing anything today. But after we swipe the buy side, I can see that we are really going down here. Now we've almost taken out the sell side right here. I think it would be nice if we could have this remain intact. We actually have a fair value gap here. This is the first SIBI that we've seen since the opening bell. The last time was over here before 8:30. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and give this a shot. Actually, I think we could definitely, because I mean we got relatively low here. We could definitely go below here. We could even go below this one. But like I said, maybe I want to take it off somewhere here. So if I have my risk up here, and I have my entry of here. See, it looks like it's already going to come up and hit me. If I take one contract, I'm guessing that's going to be enough for a 50%, for a 0.5%. Whoa, 50 points of risk. Okay, so looking at the spreadsheet here, if I use my normal entry and stop loss, it's going to give me about a 0.8% risk. So a little bit much. I kind of only want to have 0.5%. And you can see the loss here. I took a 0.55 risk. So I guess it would be okay. But, you know, what I'm going to do is look for 50% of this fair value gap, actually. So if I enter at 50% of this fair value gap at 19969.25, let's say, it's going to reduce the risk a little bit to 0.65. I think that's a little bit more reasonable for me. So we're going to go ahead and give it a shot like this. So rather than having my entry here, I'm going to have it at 50% of this fair value gap, short, and then I'm going to try and move my stop real quick. So if it goes below this low here, I'm going to move it to at least break even. No questions asked. And then hopefully we can see a run for maybe this fair value gap or even this swing low. All right, guys. You know, maybe today wasn't a good day of trading. This choppy action right here kind of give you a signal already that today may not be a good day of trading. But anyways, sticking with my guns, I am in a trade short here. Kind of have a feeling I may get stopped out. But you can see that this rally here created this fair value gap. And let me just kind of outline it a little bit for you guys. Right here. So we're trading into here. Perhaps this could be used as an inversion fair value gap. It is the first 5-minute fair value gap after the opening bell. So maybe it's just coming up here, using it as inversion will push price below this low right here. I don't really want to take it off right at this low. I mean, that'll give me about 101, which is fair. But I want to see if we can get down to this low. If it goes down here, I'm definitely going to put it to at least break even. All right, another one of those days where I should just stick with my bullishness. We came back down for this 1 hour fair value gap and we were just going up, although there's no real setup. But anyways, I got stopped out, 2 losses on the day. It's getting close to noon anyways, so unfortunately ending today with a red day. And here's the rest of the day's action. After we took out that high, we failed to go for that one intermediate high, right? We did go into that 15-minute fair value gap, and then we dropped back down pretty much where we opened, really. So pretty much like I said, sideways day. When you see consolidation like this, it already gives you like an early signal that price action probably won't be very good for today. So you might as well just forget about it or just be very, very cautious. Either way, pretty much sideways. Don't think it was a really good trading day. Unfortunately, I took a red day, 2 losses, and I was done. I guess I could have tried for this, right? I mean, glad I didn't because, yeah, never worked out. Anyways, moving on to Wednesday. All right, so Wednesday morning, you can see that after going into that 15-minute fair value gap, we started dropping down, taking out the sell side below the swing low, this swing low, and went into that new week opening gap. Probably is going to go for this swing low as well. And as long as we don't really go below this new week open, the fair value gap here on the weekly chart, then I will still maintain a slightly bullish stance. So what I can expect on Wednesday, if we look at Monday, right? Monday open, Tuesday, it was kind of pretty much sideways, right? We're kind of hovering right below this big PD array on the higher time frame, coming back down. So I'm kind of looking for Wednesday or maybe Thursday, but hoping just Wednesday low of the week, maybe Thursday low of the week, and I'm looking for a run up for these relative equal highs. But I think we want to take out this swing low first, and then I'll be looking for a reversal. All right, so between 8:30 and 9, we just dropped down below that swing low. So we took out the sell side liquidity already, and we created a 5-minute fair value gap. We're currently in it right now before 9:30, but I'm not going to be just randomly entering into this. Although the 6:31 to relatively small risk, like 20 points of risk, but not something that you want to just gamble on, right? So I'm going to wait till 9:30. Are we going to take out this low one more time, or are we going to start rallying? Now, if we start rallying, creating a fair value gap, I'll be looking for price to retrace back into the fair value gap, and I'll go ahead and try and take the first one since we already had one here, and that's going to show us support on the first one. Partials, I don't know. I mean, potentially we could take it off up here because of, this is a bunch of relative equal highs. And if we zoom out to the 15-minute, nothing really obvious. I mean, this could be the next one. This could be pretty much the ultimate target for today. I don't really think it's going to jump up all the way over there. I think maybe Thursday will have the potential to do that. So yeah, just going to go look for these short-term buy sides for now, but let's see what happens at 9:30. Okay, so after 10 o'clock, 9:30, we just dropped down more and more. So just going to keep waiting. I mean, I'm pretty much waiting for a fair value gap, maybe a confirmation fair value gap, depending on how far the first one goes. Essentially, I want to see all this down move right here at the opening get traded through. I kind of want to see price go above this swing high. All right, guys, so it is actually 12:15, end of my time window. Never gave us a bullish reversal. After the initial drop after 9:30, we just slowly declined and, well, pretty much just declined all morning. Yeah, what can I say? It didn't give us what I was looking for. We're getting close to the low of that weekly fair value gap. So I'm looking for a Thursday reversal pretty much, as I don't really want to go below this fair value gap. Hopefully we don't even close it in. I want to just maintain the bullishness and see some displacement to the upside. So, okay, so Thursday morning, 8:15. I'm on the 4-hour just to see what kind of sell side liquidity we have. We do have a consolidation area here, so got sell side below this swing low, fair value gap up to the left of it. Now, this will probably be the lowest I would, think price can go to if we're going to continue being bullish. I know we're going below this weekly fair value gap, but it'll be okay if we just swipe it and start going up. If we close down below it today, I'll kind of change my stance. Now on the 1 hour, let's look to see what kind of, man, this whole big drop, there's a bunch of fair value gaps here. I'm going to eliminate all of these buy side targets. I'm not sure if they're relevant or not. Yeah, just eliminate all this. Anyways, I think, not exactly sure. Not exactly sure today. Maybe today is a no trade day. I want to see a swipe of the sell side and then displace to the upside. But I think either way, I'm going to need to see confirmation. I'm not going to be thrilled to just take the very first fair value gap. So I think today is just going to be a waiting game. And this new week opening gap, I'm just going to put it at the low just to keep in mind of it. We are below it. Typically, when you're below the new week opening gap, you kind of want to be bearish, but higher time frame, I don't see a reason to be bearish. So just gonna be a little bit patient today. Maybe not trade. Like I said, we could just be hanging around this fair value gap, right? Remember on the daily, I said that we could just be consolidating, creating a SIBI on the daily time frame. Okay, I said SIBI on the daily time frame. I think I meant SIBI on the weekly time frame. Either way, I am on the 5-minute time frame right now, and I'm looking at, well, you can see a lot of consolidation here. So the obvious sell side target here. You can see a lot of relative equal highs. This is, or it says sell side target, but this is the buy side target. And then looking closer at what's going on today, we do have sell side target below here. Didn't quite reach it. Took out the sell side here. That's perfectly fine. And then you see this wick, right? We created a fair value gap here and here. So 2 fair value gaps. I'm not thrilled to take this first one, although we could, right? Let me just draw out the risk. Like, let's say if I take it up here, and then I don't want to see, we'll put it at the bottom of this order block. I don't really want to see it come down all the way into this wick anymore. So that is quite a bit of range. There's no way I'm going to be, entering here with my risk down here. I think I'm just gonna wait, right? I may miss this. I kind of feel like it's gonna just move without me. But what I want to see is retracement down here somewhere and then create another confirmation fair value gap for me to get in. Hopefully one with less risk. Okay, so far we're kind of going sideways a little bit. We did wick out into that first fair value gap and we start going up. So I was a little hopeful here, but I was waiting for a fair value gap. Didn't see a fair value gap. We came back down into here one more time. This up and down, I'm looking at this as a balanced price range. We did tap into it and then we're kind of going up. We're getting close to 930. It's 915 right now. We have these relative equal highs. I feel like we're gonna come and take these highs at the very least. I would love to see those highs get taken. But either way, I'm waiting for the very next fair value gap to take a long into. Just going to give it a shot. I'm thinking this wick down here was a stop hunt. And I'm looking for a buy side target up here and up here. And yeah, just waiting for our next fair value gap. I'll go into it with a 1% risk and we'll just see if it works out. So as you can see, we did take out these relative equal high very, very shortly. It is still a little bit before 9:30 opening, and we do have a fair value gap here. So I'll have my risk down here. I'll have my entry up here. I know I already kind of went into it, but as I stated before, I'm looking for a fair value gap, and well, this is it. So I'm just going to count this as me getting into a trade right here. Back testing, let's see. I did also say a 1% risk, even though, man, I think we could come down below the swing low, but yeah, we'll go ahead and shoot for a 1% risk. So hopefully it'll work out. If not, then I don't know. I guess I'll be careful with my words, in the future. But entry at 19,231.5, 19,209.75. The one contract is going to give me about a third. So 3 contracts, about 1% risk. We'll shoot for it. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, because it's kind of small. I don't know if it's significant or not. Whatever. We'll shoot for it and hope for the best. So, kind of feel like we can get swiped out. Yeah, okay. Well, at least the risk wasn't. Yeah, like I was thinking we could come down here. Okay, so I'm going to give this a little bit more time. I'm going to go ahead and record that loss right here. Unfortunately, what was this right here? The stop loss. So yeah, not good. Red on the week so far, but hopefully we'll have another chance. And I'm still looking for the buy side target, but I kind of feel like we may be going for this sell side first. So after 9:30 was right here. Yeah, just going to give it a little bit more time. I'm thinking maybe after 10 o'clock would be a good time to look for a setup. All right, so it's 10:15. I went back to the 4-hour. Remember, I drew out this line right here for the 4-hour sell side liquidity. We went down and we've taken the sell side liquidity all the way down here. So this, if we're going to be bullish, this is going to be as far as I want it to go. I want to start seeing a reversal fairly quickly. I don't want to see it go much lower than this. If we do start closing below this weekly fair value gap, I think we may be going down some more, so maybe possibly looking for more bearishness in the future. But I'm going to give a little bit more time. From here on out, I want to see rallying to the upside. I don't want to see it go down anymore. Okay, great. We got a fair value gap here. I will try and take it. I don't really think it's going to come down here, right? I mean, this is a balanced price range. I mean, but this candle hasn't done forming yet, so there may not be a fair value gap there. Here, and my risk, man, I don't really want to put it at the bottom. I kind of feel like it should not go below this up candle if it's going to go up. So if I have my entry here and my stop down here at the bottom of the candle, what is this going to look like here? It's going to look like pretty big. 60 points. I don't think I can afford that. So what I'm going to do is wait for a confirmation fair value gap. I want to see price come down to this one, or if it creates a fair value gap here, come down here, create a second one, and I'll take that second fair value gap. So no trade right now, just going to wait. All right, and well, at least I was right that I don't want to see price go any lower, right? After taking out the sell side, we just started going up. So maybe I could have tried a turtle soup here. But either way, it is rallying up high. I don't really think it's coming back down to this fair value gap anymore. If this creates a fair value gap, I guess I could take that one, right? With my risk down here. And fair value gap entry here. Oh man, still quite a bit of range. This is going to be still like 60 points of range. Man, the ranges are getting bigger and bigger by the day. Like situation like this, I would rather go down to like a 1 minute, find something smaller, right? But anyways, not going to be taking this too big of a risk. If we come down to one of these fair value gaps and create another one, a confirmation fair value gap, I'll be willing to take that. So just going to be patient and wait. It may run without me. Perfectly fine. Sometimes it's going to happen. Sometimes it's going to run without you. So here, like, okay, it's coming down to this fair value gap. Still pretty big range. I don't really want to take this. Yeah, just gonna wait. Just gonna wait. All right, here's a potential trade, guys. Because let me take a look at the risk here. Okay, not gonna say anything for sure just yet. Zoom in a little bit. Let me just make sure my accurate drawings. Now, if this creates a fair value gap, am I willing to take the risk here? For one, why is this range so big? 150 to 241, too big of a risk, but What if it retraces down to, let's say, the top of this quarter block? Still 68 points of risk, man. Still a lot. One sec. Let me refer to the spreadsheet. Yeah, guys. If I tried like entering here at 218 with my risk down there, it's gonna be a little bit over 1%. I thought maybe if it was less than 1%, I can try for it. I already took a loss today, so technically I'm supposed to only take 50% or a 0.5% of risk. But man, these ranges are so big, I can't really do that. It's not really giving me a really small risk to take. What I can do is go on this order block here. It's going to be in between the fair value gap, around 50% of that fair value gap. So nothing out of the ordinary, but the risk is quite a bit. But it's going to give me like 100 points of reward if I can get it. So maybe I'll shoot for something like this. Okay, I'll give it a shot with just one contract and we'll see if we can get lucky. All right, guys. Hopefully this works out. I'm wanting to see a rally up and hit. You know, I'm not loving it. It did come and take out the buy side above this high and this high as well. Didn't come above this high, but now that it's coming down, I'm feeling that it's going to retrace more. I think it may take out my stop and then start rallying. I don't know. I think today I got a little emotional. I got a little FOMO, you know, because I was right down here and I kind of feel like I missed out. I think one of those days where my emotions got the best of me, you know. I think I have some more work to do on my trading psychology, but at least it's not real money. It's just back testing, and we'll see if we get stopped out. Hopefully it will work in my favor, but we'll see. And this is what you get when you get FOMO. It goes down, stops me out, unfortunately. So taking a pretty big hit today. Today was not good. Today was not good. Yeah. Not gonna have a good week this week so far from the, what was it, the 22nd, was it? Or yeah, I believe it was the 22nd, right? So far the net is about 200 down, so oh well, we'll see if we have another chance tomorrow. I think I'm done for the day. It's getting close to 12 o'clock, but we'll see what the rest of the day looks like before we end it here. This is the rest of the morning action, guys. What did I say? It's gonna stop me out and then head for the target. I think this is one of the cases where I just have bad, entry because it did take out the buy side. I should not have entered this probably. So anyways, taking a look at the end of the day action, we'll see what happens. I took out the buy side and then we pretty much went all the way down, man. This week was something, man, just kind of sideways. I guess that's to be expected from my higher time frame analysis, but all right, let's go ahead and jump into Friday. Friday is going to be the last day. Hopefully we could get a good trade, but I'm going to try not to be FOMO. Going to try not to revenge trade. Just going to try to remain like neutral, take good setups and see what happens. All right. So Friday morning, 8:15 on the 1 hour chart. Buy side up here, sell side down here. And I'm looking at this 1 hour fair value gap in blue. I'm thinking maybe we tap into it and then rally up. But looking at this entire week, Monday, we pretty much opened up here, created Tuesday, high of the week, and then we are coming down, perhaps it's Thursday, low of the week, and we close Friday, maybe somewhere in equilibrium. So this buy side target will probably be the highest, my target for the day. So I'm looking for a price to drop down maybe into this 1 hour fair value gap and then come up for the buy side target and then boom, down for the day. So let's see if we get that. All right, so 9:30, you can see that at 8:30 we did take the buy side, and 9:30 we have displacement lower, so we could just be going lower at this point. Looking at the 1 hour, we did trade below this weekly fair value gap, and we could be using it as inversion for lower targets. So we could be heading for the sell side down here. I'll even go ahead and mark out this swing low because it could just take out this one and then remain leave this one remaining intact on Thursday. But yeah, we went down into this first fair value gap. Maybe it's going for the sell side below these lows. Am I willing to take a short here? I'm gonna take a look. If we have a fair value gap here, the range is too big. I'm not willing to take the risk on there. I want to look for buy side. So maybe sweep the sell side, or we start going up above this high for a market structure shift. That's what I'm looking for. Just gonna keep waiting, I guess. 10 o'clock, pretty wicked action. You can see very choppy. Maybe today will be a no trade day, but this wick up here went into this fair value gap, respected it, didn't take out this high, and does look like we are creating, you know, relative equal lows. So I think we're going to be coming down for a low here. And then once we do that, then I want to start seeing fair value gaps to the upside. Okay, and here we are. We did swipe the low right here and potentially creating a fair value gap here. If I have the risk down here and I enter up here, man, these ranges are just huge. Man, what can I do with these ranges, man? Maybe I have to wait for a confirmation fair value gap, or I do see a lot of consolidation here. I don't think it's really going to come down here. I could have a tighter risk. I could put it like up here. It will be a little bit better, especially with all this, you know, consolidation. Maybe it won't get down here. So this will give me about a 50-point risk. We'll go ahead and try for this if we have a fair value gap here. Going long, just one contract. I think that's going to give me about 1% risk, or a little bit less than that. So let's just shoot for it. Okay, guys. I should have waited for a confirmation fair value gap. Yeah. Should have waited for a confirmation fair value gap. I think this whole week, I just been kind of FOMO. I think I just been kind of FOMO. Need to work on being more patient. Yeah. Doing a little self-reflecting here. So I still got one more shot in the chamber, but taking a loss on this one does not feel good. But yeah, gonna wait, see if I can get another shot in. Just been patient, wait for a confirmation fair value gap. Okay, so let's go ahead and just wait. Maybe 11 o'clock will give us something. Okay, so it is 11 o'clock. We did sweep the low one more time, just barely, right? So I don't know if I'm going to be aiming for this high. I kind of feel like Friday, we're not going to be really looking to go much higher. Probably this high will be my target for today. We did create a fair value gap here, and we've come up above all this up can't, or this down movement here. So if I have here will be my, let me get rid of this. Okay, so if the risk is down here and the entry's up here, pretty big range, going to be patient. Want to see price come back into here and confirm this fair value gap, and hopefully give me another fair value gap with a smaller risk. All right, this is what I like to see. Now, if I would have taken this, yeah, it probably would have worked out. I can move it to break even now. But yeah, like I said, I was trying to be patient, maybe recover some losses. I know I'm probably going to be red on the week, so not looking to like make up anything or whatever. But yeah, if I have my, let's say, up here, be about 60 points of risk, I'm going to tighten up the risk a little bit, right? Because again, all this consolidation, we have a fair value gap here. I could put it here, but I'm actually going to keep it down here, right? It's below this, what was this blue? What was a 1 hour fair value gap? So this is going to give me about 40 points, 42 points of risk, which is more in line with what I normally risk. So I'm a little bit more comfortable with this. So yeah, let's go ahead and give this a shot. Okay, just before noon, still got about like 20 minutes left or so. We created another fair value gap. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can get tagged in on this upper fair value gap, because we're kind of getting close to the target. I feel like it's just gonna tap into it and go up here. It could tap into the second fair value gap as well, but I really don't want to see it come down below here. Like, this is a lot of consolidation here, balanced price range, this up and down movement. So I'm gonna move the risk up a little bit. If I do get tagged in, I'm going to keep it down below this swing this low on this candle. So this is going to be about 40 points of risk still. One contract, see if I can get wicked in, and I'll, if we go, I don't know, above this candle, I don't know. I really want to move my stop quickly to break even, but sometimes when I do that, I get stopped out and then it moves my way. But we'll see if we can even get in the first place. Okay, so I'm in. It looks like it's moving in my favor. Let me go ahead and record this on the spreadsheet. So today is the 26th. With one, we go in at 19,175, and then here's 19,128. Okay, so with one, a little bit more than 50%, but I'll accept it. I'll accept it, and then I'm looking just to take it off at this high, I suppose. I mean, we are getting close to my time window ending anyways, so yeah. It would be nice to actually try to see if it hold for up here, but we'll see. But anyways, like I said, I want to move my stop up fairly quickly. So what I'm going to do is, because if we create this fair value gap, okay, I'm watching. If we create the fair value gap, I'm going to move my stop up here to the bottom of this order block. But I need this fair value gap to remain intact. So let's see if it does. Okay, so it does. Stop loss break. Oh, actually, hit my target here. If I had a second contract, I would want to hold it up there, but my time window is done. Hit this target, just gonna take it off, and we'll call it a week, probably in the red. Yeah, but hopefully we mitigated some of the damage. And here we are. This is the spreadsheet for the week. Started off really well, but man, got kind of FOMO in the middle of the week. Took some bad trades. I don't know if they're bad trades, but definitely I'll say is FOMO trades. So it was negative 284, and then mitigated a little bit, 146. And if we kind of just add this up, I know it's not exact, but cumulative about negative 1% on the week. So not too bad, but yeah, would like to be green on the week. Anyways, this video is going on pretty long. I thank you so much for sticking with me on this very long backtesting session. I'll try to keep it short. It's not going to be short, a little bit shorter, maybe about 30 to 45 minutes. That's kind of like the sweet spot where I want to aim for. But anyways, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you for joining me. Come back next time as we finish off the week of, or the month of July. And yeah, until next time, guys, safe trading.